Welcome all our friends to another out-of-the-world adventure by our favorite superstars, featuring the Batman, Superman, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, and the Flash. A group of villains known as the Royal Flush Gang are robbing valuable diamonds from a renowned bank locker, and the Justice League arrive right in time to trash the supervillains and halt the theft. Regardless of the robbery, they discover that the villains had been given the ability to walk through walls or any barriers. Cyborg, who had been working with the superheroes, informs that the superpower had been administered to the Royal Flush by someone else. Manhunter attempts reading their minds, but finds no clue with regard to the anonymous person who gave the intel. As the superheroes had a mighty brawl against the villains, they depart due to excessive tiredness and pledge to meet if something turns up. Batman, who is partially injured, ponders to dive deep into this matter and investigate further. As he heads to his Batcave in his vehicle, he sees a reflection through his front mirror, but discards it when he finds no active threat to be suspicious. As he enters his residence, the Batcave, he is welcomed by Alfred, his butler and dear friend, who offers to stitch the wounds and prepare a hearty dinner. Meanwhile, as Batman departs, Mirror Master appears into the Batcave, and whilst conversing with an anonymous person giving out orders, he hacks into the Bat computer and secretly collects some contingency plans that have been saved by Batman in order to neutralize any member of the Justice League, in case they ever happen to misuse their powers or go rogue. It is revealed that the anonymous person who had been giving orders to steal the contingency plans is a mighty supervillain with brilliant strategic plans named Vandal Savage. He invites a group of supervillains known as the Legion of Doom and pays them in heavy amounts in order to attack the members of the Justice League. The members of the Legion of Doom include Malefic, the evil twin brother of Martian Manhunter, Cheetah, Mirror Master, Star Sapphire, Metallo, and Bane. Using Batman's backup plans, each villain is tasked with eliminating a specific Justice League member. The main goal of the Vandal Savage's scheme is to wipe out the majority of the human race and establish a brand new civilization, and the Justice League serves as a hindrance. The Justice League players are singled out one by one. The Legion of Doom, with personal grudges against the heroes, simultaneously use deadly variations of the schemes to target the League's members. Alfred Pennyworth alerts Batman to the fact that his parents' remains have been unearthed and are missing. Bruce Wayne is attacked by Bane in disguise of a countryman. When he arrives at the graves of his parents, Bruce falls down unconscious and Bane gains the upper hand. He is then placed in his father's casket, which has been reburied. With his police department co-workers, Martian Manhunter, who goes by the name John Jones, is celebrating his birthday. A mysterious woman offers him a drink and admits that she is interested in John. John tries to remember who she is, and the woman tells him to use his Martian vision in order to know her identity. To John's astonishment, it turns out to be Malefic, who had come to avenge on Manhunter in disguise. Magnesium carbonate, which is harmful to Martian biology, is added to the beverage that had been offered to him. Malefic uses a lighter to set his opponent on fire, as fire is Manhunter's only weakness, leaving him to burn alive without the ability to stop the flames. The Manhunter's body can heal itself, but only by sweating off the highly combustible magnesium, which is thus impossible. The people around try to extinguish the fire, but it was of no use. The flames burn high and bright. Simultaneously, Wonder Woman is being chased by Cheetah, who has a personal vengeance on the superheroine, and in fact, one of the main reasons why she had accepted Vandal Savage's offer. Whilst the two of them roll over in a mighty wrangle, Cheetah attacks Wonder Woman by scratching her arm, releasing nanobots into her bloodstream. This impacts Wonder Woman's visual sensories, thus making her believe that whoever she sees in her vicinity would be visualized as a duplicate of Cheetah herself. She tries trailing behind Cheetah, but due to the effect on her troubled sensation, she fails. Flash, on the other hand, is being targeted by Mirror Master. He commits a murder on the outskirts of the town and lures Flash into a trap by robbing a train. Flash enters into the robbed train and finds the guards have been tied up in ropes. They freak out in fear, stating that they had been attacked by the Mirror Master. Flash moves further and finds the Mirror Master in a compartment with a huge box covered in a rag. As Flash darts towards the opponent, he visually multiplies, making things worse for the hero. Upon inquiring on what is hidden in the box, Mirror Master unveils an old woman being held hostage inside the box. The entire robbing was a trick to deceive the superhero. When Flash tries to rescue the old woman, a bomb gets attached to his wrist. Mirror Master warns Flash that if he tries to remove the bomb or any means of action, the bomb would explode and devastate everything within 3 miles. Even if the hero does nothing, the bomb would explode. The only solution to avoid the explosion is to keep running and never decelerate. With that being the only way, Flash speeds up and away from the train. Green Lantern receives a call from the FBI officers stating of a crime incident that is taking place. A group of terrorists have held few people captive in a salt mine. Green Lantern enters the salt mine and finds the innocent people tied up. The terrorists warn him to back away, but luckily, Green Lantern, with his green light, unties the ropes of the hostages and frees them. He then directs his light to the entrance of the salt mine and orders them to follow it in order to get out. One of the terrorists shoots a woman right in front of Green Lantern's eyes, and following it, the salt mine collapses. Once the dirt and debris are cleared out, Green Lantern finds the dead woman's body and mourns over it. In guilt that he was unable to save her, taking advantage of this situation, Star Sapphire shows up in the disguise of a young lady and plays on his insecurities and depleting his willpower, convincing him that he does not deserve the power that he possesses. Green Lantern gives up his ring, which allows him to escape the collapsed salt mine. He is seen to be grief-struck and mourning with the dead lady on his lap. Superman, in his human form, is seen in an office conference when he receives a phone call from his ally, stating that one of the former employees of Daily Planet is attempting to commit suicide by throwing off from the top of a building. Superman comes to the rescue, but the victim threatens to die either by jumping off the building or shooting himself. Superman consoles him and tries to talk him out of it, and nearly succeeds, but unpredictably, the man shoots Superman, much to his dismay. In reality, the employee was Metallo in disguise, and the entire plot was to trick Superman. Metallo grins at him and discloses that the bullet which he had shot Superman was made of a synthetic version of kryptonite, the only material that weakens the hero and dismantles his powers. Superman falls off the building, severely injured. With all of the superheroes taken down from their powers, the Legion of Doom members, along with Vandal Savage, celebrate on their victory. Vandal describes on his plan of partially eliminating the population of Earth in a manner that would benefit him. He also continues to reveal that he is immortal, and he had received the power through a solar-radiated meteor years ago, and that had bestowed him with immortality and intelligence. Cheetah doubts the fact and attempts to slit Vandal's throat in order to test his immortality. To everyone's utter shock, Vandal falls down dead, blood gushing from the cut, but wakes up, all fit and fine, and the cut disappears, which in fact proves his immortal power. The main plan of Vandal is to use a powerful solar flare to create an apocalyptic disaster. Meanwhile, Wonder Woman had been causing chaos in the city by harming each and every person, mistaking them to be Cheetah. The armed forces of the police try to stop her, but she attacks them too. Cyborg, who encounters her, realizes that there was something attached to her bloodstream. He scans her thoroughly and finds out that the minuscule machines had hooked into her brainstem and began to broadcast straight into her optical and auditory sensors. Cyborg radiates her and finally brings her back to her senses after adding in great effort. Batman, who had been buried deep in the grave of his father, manages to break free. He arrives at his Batcave and realizes that something had gone wrong. Alfred Pennyworth informs him that Superman had been shot and is critical. He calls Flash, who informs him that he is attacked by Mirror Man and is forced to run.
Alfred, get the Batwing ready. The Justice League is under attack.
By whom?
By me!
Batman comprehends that the Justice League had been attacked and that too by his very own contingency plans which he had activated. He races away on his Batmobile and connects to Wonder Woman, who informs that she is alright and is rescued by Cyborg. Batman orders Flash to head over to an iceberg and remove the bomb attached to his hand. As said so, Flash does as instructed, and the bomb blasts on an iceberg, leaving him unharmed. Batman offers a healing syringe to Wonder Woman in order to inject on Manhunter, which would cease down the flames by dissolving the magnesium present in his body. Batman heads out to the salt mine, where Green Lantern is seen grieving. He informs Green Lantern that nothing is his fault, and everything, both the terrorists and the hostages, including the woman, are sophisticated androids. He also adds that Green Lantern had been subject to a synthetic version of the Scarecrow's fear gas, which had weakened his resolve. He claims back his ring and regains his powers. With all the heroes rescued and only Superman left, the members head over to him. He is seen in a fatal state, and the crowd around him plead for help. Manhunter divulges his appendage into Superman's body and removes the kryptonite bullet. Superman regains his consciousness, and the crowd cheer. Now the Justice League has assembled at the Watchtower, and each of them convey on how they had been attacked.
The attacks were strategically brilliant.
More than that, they were specifically targeted at our physical and psychological weaknesses.
Obviously by someone who knows us very well.
The plans were mine.
Yours?
Say what now?
Batman admits that he was the true mastermind behind the attacks, having studied the others' characters for physical and psychological flaws, and having implemented such a plot in case any of them goes rogue.
None of us would ever do that to you.
Then you're damn fools.
The superheroes check the surveillance camera and find footage of Mirror Master hacking the information from the Bat computer. The superheroes dart towards the Legion of Doom by tracking them down. They overhear all of Vandal's plans and confront the villains, shocked on seeing the Justice League. Vandal orders his comrades to demolish them. A mighty brawl takes place between the heroes and the opponents, and they manage to subdue them. However, the heroes are unable to stop Savage's plan to cause a cataclysmic apocalypse with a massive solar flare. The rocket is launched, and Superman and Green Lantern head over to space. Green Lantern withholds the solar flare with his ring light emittance, whilst the other superheroes tend to set up Vandal's system that could draw a veil over Earth without calamity. The Justice League finally managed to save Earth from the powerful solar flare, and thus protecting mankind as promised. Vandal Savage is sentenced to a lifetime imprisonment by the World Court for the horrendous acts that he has committed. The Justice League welcomes their new member Cyborg as part of their team. Following the revelation of Batman's violation of trust, Superman requests a vote on Batman's ongoing participation in the team. Batman defends his objectives and exhibits no sorrow for his actions, eventually quitting voluntarily.
Okay, Batman.
My actions don't require any defense. In the same situation, I do it again.
Oh, come on!
In the end, Superman questions Batman about the attack on him by Bane and burying him alive. Batman confesses that it was Vandal's part of the plan, but he did have a backup contingency plan in case he went rogue, which is called the Justice League. Superman then entrusts Batman with a kryptonite bullet, and the latter departs as the other members of the Justice League watch over. By the way, who wants to know the real story of Vandal Savage? Around 80,000 years ago, a tribe of Neanderthal men living on what is now the island of Sumatra bore witness to a meteor shower passing through the Earth's atmosphere. One of the celestial stones fell into a valley where the tribe made its home. While the rest of the tribe shirked back in terror from the glowing stone, one young male stepped forward. The night was very cold, and the stone was warm. The young male caveman slept next to the stone all night, only to wake up to discover himself changed both physically and mentally. Evolved beyond his fellows, it was not until decades later that he realized the other part of the transformation. He had become immortal. As the millennia passed, the caveman wandered the world as a witness to the evolution of the human race. He lived hundreds of lives as a slave, a priest, a healer, an artist, a doctor, a soldier, but most often, a conqueror. Thank you for watching Second Look. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.